So, yeah. I that was attempt number 3, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with this. Adam to change the fucking logo.
I like that one. I think that one's cool.
Yeah.
But I like the first one better.
Really?
I like it because we're idiots. We don't know what we're doing. We look like we are fucking cartoons.
Well,
but I dig that one.
There's no law that says we have to keep using the same one each time. We can even use different logos from different episodes going forward, just to kind of mix
Rotate
it up.
I think that's a good idea. Because I had one that I kind of liked, and I don't know where it is.
Mm-hmm. Episode 28.
This one was done. This is oil painting.
Oh yeah, neat.
I chose oil painting and just 2 robots talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Welcome back to
Talkbots.
and this time with verve.
What?
Verve?
Who's that?
You've never heard the adjective or
I know
is
what
it
a
an
verb
adjective?
is, you old.
Verve. With verve. It's just, man. Okay,
What?
I guess you don't ever watch Steve Martin, do you?
Sorry, Carl.
He was my hero, comedically, growing up. So, Adam, what's going on? You appear to be in a tremendous amount of discomfort, to put it mildly.
I am. I don't get that enthusiastic. It hurts.
My goal going forward is to make him laugh as much as possible tonight.
That's fine. I'll shit my pants right on this fucking couch.
No, you won't.
I will.
Yeah, so what's going on?
I guess, long story short, is just that my right side, under my 13th rib, right where my rib connects with my spine, that spot of my diaphragm is in spasm.
Okay.
When certain movements, or when some movements, not certain, when some movements are made, mostly when that muscle is used, it hurts all the time, and then when it triggers, it on those, that pain scale, 0 to 10, and it hits 10 instantly, like 10 for about a quarter of a second.
Right.
It's fucking
Electric shock kind of dealy.
no. It's more like hot glass stabbing me.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've had it before, like a couple years ago. Back when I was getting massages every week.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just how I rolled. I'd drive my Benz to the masseuse and get it done every
Your
week.
Benz.
And when it would show up, she'd be like, "Oh, your rib's out of fucking place," which it is. And she would just massage, and then it would go away, or it would go away on its own. But anyway, about 2 months ago, month and a half ago, it started, and I just had hoped that it was gonna fuck off on its own, and then it didn't, and it didn't, and then it got worse and worse, to the point where, like, I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't breathe properly. All this shit. So I eventually went to get a massage, and it did F all. And then I went to a physiotherapist, and she looked me over, and I was there for 2 hours. And at the end of it, she sent me away apologizing. She's like, I don't know what I can do for you. It's your diaphragm, as I have said. I'd like you to come see your chiropractor who deals with this. Anyway, so I went and saw the chiropractor, and it was excruciating. And he told me that when I breathe in through my ribs, like, my right side doesn't expand. Like, the muscles just don't move. Because I have no core muscles. They're all just goo, as you'd expect. So what's happened is my hips have taken over stability, or are helping contribute to stability, and it's just gotten to the point where that muscle can no longer do it, and it's now in spasm. So it cramps and then just squeezes over and over. So
good times.
well, it's real good times. Yeah, it's really good times. It's funny. Like I'll take my 45 minutes to walk upstairs, and not quite, and I'll just be laughing just because it's like, this is fucking.
Which makes it worse.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Because you're laughing and your diaphragm's going, you don't want to do that right
Big
now.
laughs are brutal.
Yeah.
So my real extensive exercises right now are breathing. He's like, that's all you can do, is you have to breathe. He said, I have to put my hands around my rib cage and take a big breath in, and wherever I'm not expanding, I have to focus on pushing out. So if you do that, your rib cage may not expand properly. It probably doesn't, because you sit on your ass all day as a job. Most people, right? Most people belly breathe all the time.
Right.
You're not supposed to.
Of course not.
Yeah, I do that, and my right side hardly moves. So I have to, the second breath I do, I push my thumb out and my fingers out as much as I can, over and over, in attempts to strengthen that side. And then concurrently stretching out my hips to release my core, because my psoas muscle that connects to the middle of your back down through to your psoas muscle is a hip flexor. The big hip flexor is obviously super short because you just sit all the time. But if I can stretch that out a bit, it'll allow my other core muscles to start taking over the job it's supposed to have.
Are you somehow less active, less mobile prior to the pain coming on?
Absolutely.
Than you've been in a while? Like,
oh, yeah.
Or have you kind of got even more sedentary lately?
Way more.
Okay.
Over the last year.
Right.
The books.
Right.
Yeah,
instead of going
my
for
bit of
walks
ADHD and my OCD
yeah.
makes me do things, and only those things, and so much of those things. So
So you're going to try and reverse
all
that,
I do
maybe?
is read. I have to.
Yeah.
I can't live like this. I have to do something. I got to do something different. So I'll go see this guy for a bit, see what he says, and just keep on keeping on for a while and start walking.
So, books? Been reading anything while you're in agony?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So last episode I was just finishing the 6th book, about to start the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
I finished the 7th book yesterday.
Okay.
It was a slow read, just because. And I started 4.5 book today.
Yep.
So that's about it. Ouch.
I finished The Calculating Stars, and now that the book is done, even though there's a book 2 and 3, I think I'm done with that author.
The author?
Yeah.
Not just the series,
Yeah.
but the author.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, not because the author is awful. It's just that the story left me wanting. It was okay, but not like, ooh, I wonder what happens in book 2. Especially considering all of the books that were waiting for me to try. And I have a few lined up.
It's easy to be picky when you got a line.
Yeah,
Nah,
totally.
fuck yeah. See ya.
Totally. And I mean, Goodreads, the website Goodreads has helped out with that a lot too, because you can sort of queue up your books in Goodreads and then go, okay, I'm reading that one now. So I've moved on now to an author I've never read before, Adrian Tchaikovsky, and this book is called, another series, go figure, This book is called The Children of Time. And Bernie, if you're listening, I think you might enjoy this book, considering that you're the one that suggested West of January, because it's kind of in a similar vein. Just the whole premise of the story has me really intrigued as to what's going to happen, because it's
Children
about
of Time. Isn't it a book? Or, isn't it a...
part of a series.
No, a movie or a TV show?
I don't know.
The
I
name
don't
just
know.
seems familiar. Maybe it's just a super cliche, grab you by the nuts kind of title.
And
You're
there may be other
Children of Time.
There may be other titles that are similar to that too,
absolutely.
like Childhood's End and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the premise of this story, which does carry on into other books, is that the human race got really advanced, explored the stars, but unfortunately, as typically happens in human society, there were people against all the expansion and experimentation and terraforming, and I guess what was happening was they were about
FLQ in space.
they were about to seed a planet with monkeys.
I was going to bring up monkeys earlier. I don't know why. Fucking monkeys.
They were going to seed the planet with monkeys and then dump a virus into the ecosystem that was genetically engineered to evolve them quickly.
Okay.
So that there's no more chance evolution to get them to a superior species. Let's push the envelope and get them there as quickly as possible. Focused genetic engineering.
Have you started this book?
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, shit goes south just as they're about to release the monkeys onto the planet, and an eco-terrorist starts sabotaging the mission. And the monkeys never make it to the planet, but the virus does. And there's already living beings on the planet. And that's where they switch out to thousands of years later. All of mankind has pretty much been wiped out because everybody can't stop fucking fighting each other. And these poor bastards have had to leave Earth because there's really not much left of it to live on anymore. So they try to find a new planet to live on, and they stumble across this one. And there's this like orbiting fucking machine that's basically going, not here, you're not. And that's where I'm at.
Cool.
They're trying to negotiate with this machine to let them land on the planet. And the machine's like, no, you may not. This is a living, continuing experiment. It's mine, and you can't have it. But yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. And the whole mood is very reminiscent of West of January, because you're kind of like, oh, this is interesting.
You're going to read that West of January book. So the important question is there a line in the book that is, quote unquote, release the monkeys? Does someone command?
No.
Release
No.
the monkeys.
No.
Wow.
No.
That's fine.
But,
You
write your own book and make sure that that's
what the book's called.
Release the monkeys.
Release the monkeys.
Well, as long as there's a line somewhere in the book that says, hey, we're the monkeys.
Fucking people say we're monkeying around. We're too busy singing. Put anybody down. Just trying to be friendly.
So yeah, that's what I'm reading. The Children of Time.
Children.
AKA
of
Release the Monkeys.
Children of Time.
Sorry, there are no monkeys.
Not on that planet.
The monkeys have perished.
Yeah, I see it.
So this week's theme.
I see it.
You still want to run with it?
Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, interesting.
Do you actually watch or listen to the news?
Nope.
Not at all, eh?
No.
Not even a little bit?
Well,
Like, how do you know what's going on in the world?
I generally don't.
Okay.
And that's kind of the whole point, is that I made a decision. I've never, oh no, that's not true. I used to give a shit, like when I was a teenager, because I was punk rock and I wanted to know and stand for something and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I got older and just, you know, just life happens and blah, 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 blah. I got rid of TV. Like I didn't watch TV anymore, so you didn't get it that way. And the internet wasn't used for fucking news, right? So,
right, yeah.
So I just didn't know.
Okay.
And I enjoyed not knowing.
Right.
Without really recognizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could get the news. You passively consume it. You don't even mean to when you consume media, the news, and what people have decided is news when it is not. But
alt news.
Yeah, I suppose. But then during COVID,
you kind of wanted to have an idea what was going on?
No, the opposite.
Oh, really?
I wanted to stop.
You wanted the noise
because
to
you
be
did
silenced.
Because I wanted to know what was going on, and the numbers were terrifying. Like they served. I recognized that the numbers serve no purpose to me. Like how many people have it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Either I'm going to get it or I'm not. I'm going to do everything I can to not get it. But how many people in this city have it, or the country, or the fucking world?
See, this is very interesting because I wonder, maybe you can tell me, you have a mental capacity for making up bad shit that could happen to you
Mm-hmm.
and obsessing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Was the constant negativity of the existence of the COVID pandemic too much of a mental horror threat to you
Yes.
that you were trying to avoid?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes total sense.
And then,
It's one more thing to obsess about.
right, and it was a big one, and it was easy because it was everywhere all the time. You would see it on the street with people wearing masks. You would,
Yeah.
the 6 feet, and then hearing it everywhere you go. My wife could listen to the news and not give a shit, so she would tell me things that were important.
Right.
So about every 2 weeks, she would let me know
What was happening?
about a 30-second grab of what was going on. And
That mattered.
That mattered.
Right.
That she had determined mattered, and that would matter to me.
Huh.
But I had always, not always,
You had your
In
own
my-
personal news anchor.
I did.
Does she still do that?
Topless? Yeah. Ouch.
Didn't need to know that part, but whatever.
But that whole
Don't you dare put that fucking image in my head for the rest of this episode.
my wife topless? Yeah, please don't.
Given the news.
Yeah.
And now for the important shit.
Yeah.
The news is up here, motherfucker.
I'm just trying to remember when I realized that. I don't remember when it was, but I feel like it was before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
That I was just like, I don't need to know this information.
Right.
Like, it's too much. It's important, quote unquote, to be informed about things,
Mm-hmm.
except that it's not.
Yeah.
Like, this sounds so ignorant, in contrary to what I think you're supposed to feel. Cool. You know what I mean?
Supposed to.
You know what I mean, right? Like, I
Yeah.
know, like, I don't truly believe that that's a thing.
Right.
But what you're supposed to feel is like you're supposed to give a shit about the war in the Ukraine and but I don't, because right now it doesn't affect me much. The price of gas went up for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was annoying.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call it fucking newsworthy
Right.
that I need to follow a war
Why it
about.
happened. Or yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But even like murders or assaults or politics even. Like, the only thing I care about politics is what they have to say. And what they have to say isn't news. What they have to say is a platform.
Yeah.
And that is consumed, or can be, and should be consumed in a totally different way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't need to care. You know where it started, Carl? Where it started is my absolute disdain of celebrity news. That's where it started.
The Kardashians.
Well,
And
way
everything.
before.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But way before. It made me sick knowing anything about these human beings that I care.
And it's totally useless
nothing.
information. Yeah. It's not going to affect
There's no
your
way
life
it
in
could
any
be
way.
useful.
No.
There's no way it could be useful.
It's nothing but voyeurism.
Yes.
And
to someone's life that you want so bad.
yeah,
Fuck
living
off with that.
vicariously through people who've got it better than you, but are still too stupid to realize that they're fucked.
Yeah, and then feelings of Schadenfreude seeing them fall.
Right.
Like, fuck off.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need that energy in my life.
And that...
Well, that's what...
I think that is like the common denominator of the internet today, for the most part. You know, especially people on social media.
Absolutely.
With, you know, some exceptions.
Sure.
Like there are friends that I know quite well, some who even listen to this podcast, who I know don't go seeking that kind of entertainment online. But they are the exception, not the rule.
Oh, yeah. I know people who are listening to this podcast that do seek it out.
Right.
They enjoy it.
So, my experience with the news, when I was younger, didn't really care about the news. It just really wasn't that important to me. I was interested in other things that were more visceral, relevant, fun, physical. I don't know when I started paying attention to the news as a habit. I mean, I'd start watching like The National on CBC when I was in maybe my 20s or 30s. And I never stuck with it. It never became a ritual or a habit. If I happened to be around when I knew it was on, sometimes I'd put it on, sometimes I wouldn't. It was a take it or leave it proposition. I wasn't addicted to it. It wasn't a habit. It was everything was good. Kind of had an idea what was going on in the world. And if I wasn't getting it from the news, I was getting it peripherally, just like you do. Stories retold by other people because they felt, oh, this is important, Adam, you know, or this is important, Karl. Have you heard about this? No, I haven't. Sounds like bullshit to me. Moving on. Lately, I've noticed that I am consuming a decent amount of news, and it's all happening online. It's like a ritual now. I go to work very early, earlier than I have to. I make breakfast, I grab a coffee, and I throw up 3 different news networks online. And I just randomly look at what's going on. I don't read a lot of it, just the ones that look interesting. And you know how the news can kind of stress you out and freak you out and get you worked up when you consume too much of it? I'm not noticing that effect on me yet. I mean, I'll comment to Darlene, hey, did you hear about the morons that did this or whatever? But I don't lose my mind over it. To me, it's almost like a form of entertainment, a form of amusement. You know, oh, look at what they're up to. Look at what these people are up to now, kind of thing. While at the same time being informed as to what's going on. And deep down, I know it's still not a great idea.
Yeah,
but it's become a habit.
Right. Yes, exactly. I find the results, or I don't know if it's results or symptoms of that, the too much news. It's an additive problem. It's not like you read, it's not for me. It's not like you read a story and it's like, oh my God. It's reading bad news stories or seeing bad news headlines over and over and over, and it just adds to it until you start thinking
there's no good in the world.
There's no good in the world, or no good in your city, or it's very dangerous.
Everything is messed up.
Everything's fucked.
Yeah. And I don't draw those conclusions consciously.
Right.
Subconsciously, maybe.
Right.
But it's not like I'm losing sleep over what's wrong with my world.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And I don't know what that says, good or bad, about me, but I'm at least not taking the news to heart.
Right.
That I can tell. And yeah, I mean, you know, I even had, when I knew we were going to be talking about this, I thought to myself, okay, how would I feel about not knowing what's happening in Ukraine anymore? How would I feel about not knowing how ridiculous one political personality or party is behaving this week or this month or leading up to the next election or whatever? How would I feel not knowing how bad the economy is? How bad, you know what I mean?
I do.
And I wonder, how would that affect my life, my ability to live it satisfactorily, or even better, with more joy, less stress, less worry, less whatever. And yeah, I'm ready to conduct an experiment on that by, you know, saying, right, as of this date, I'm going to just stop listening to the news and reading the news and see how that goes. A, see how long I last. B, see if there's any recognizable change in my demeanor, attitude, mood, etc.
It'd be an interesting experiment. It requires a lot of introspection, because you got to be able to recognize shit that you're not used to even thinking about.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
The fucking news is insidious. It's just, it gets everywhere. So I stopped. Anybody who's listening to this is probably just like, oh, I talk about current events sometimes. Like I
often wonder, how do you find out about those current
and it's
events
just,
if you're not consuming news?
So when I was on Reddit, they just show up.
Ah.
Right? It's like
so
I say, it's
peripheral
insidious.
contact.
Yeah, it's just gets in.
Yeah.
And however many weeks ago now, I quit Reddit. Like I stopped.
Oh, really?
It's over.
Wow.
For how long I don't know, but it's over.
Just to cut the thread.
Yeah. And what I noticed is nothing glaringly obvious in regards to the news until 2 days ago or yesterday, when I heard about the cops in Edmonton.
Right.
And it bummed me out extra.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't used to it.
That kind of bummed me out.
Right, because that real.
Affected me.
Right, because that shit's real. And when you're not...
And royally unfair.
Oh yeah, just a super bummer for everybody involved.
Yeah.
But I think, well, you get desensitized, where it's just like, bah, bah, more dead,
yeah.
But this didn't. It was...
This seemed different.
Right.
It hit home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's what I found, is that when I heard that news, because I'll tell you now that had I heard that news a few months ago, it would have been like, oh, fuck. But then just...
Moving on.
No.
Yeah.
But this one made me empathize with all four parties involved. For sure. More than that, right? Like there's obviously the family.
It wasn't just
but
poor
the
cops.
Four direct.
It was poor kid, poor mom.
Well, right. See?
No, I know. It's, even when you cut yourself off from it, you're really not cutting yourself off from it completely.
No. Because the big stuff's still going to find you.
Yeah.
If you consume any level of media, the big stuff is still going to find you somehow. Even if it would have been, I came over here and sat down and you would have asked me about those cops. Did you hear about those cops? I'm not saying you would have, but it'll find you. The big stuff finds you.
So, here's a question for you.
I'll answer it.
Since you are not a huge consumer of news, how do you become informed enough to know who to vote for in the next election? Or do you bother? Because that's a thing I would worry about, cutting myself off totally from the news. Because I don't have permanent allegiances to any one political party. I lean, but I have been known to vote for other parties when the one I would lean towards historically are just a bunch of numpties, and they have nothing to offer the country or the area or whatever.
So what I've used the last couple times is Canada.gc offers a service. It's sort of like a quiz. What was that?
Or are you talking about Vote Compass?
I think so. Yeah, that's it.
CBC does that.
Is it CBC?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
Right. And I've been using that.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Mm. By the way, for those of you that have no idea what we're talking about right now, CBC, the website, offers this thing called Vote Compass, and they usually, put it live in the months leading up to an election. And they just basically go, just answer some questions. How do you feel on this? How do you feel about that? What's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on that? Which would you rather, this or this, etc., etc. And once they've done asking you all those questions, and I think there's about 30 of them or so in total,
and
they're all topical. Yep.
Yeah, more than you'd think, for sure.
It tells you what party aligns the most with your collective principles and ideology. And it's pretty great.
It is great. It's very useful.
Especially when you're, kind of wondering, who should I vote for, or what party should I vote for? Vote Compass is not a bad, because if you're conservative leaning, it'll tell you.
Oh yeah.
You may as well vote conservative, because that's what
you want.
What you want. That's the kind of government you would want running the show. So, interesting.
Yeah, so definitely the beginning of my anti-news was entertainment-based, like being against it. Mm-hmm. That's why I still to this day I don't know what movies are coming out, and because I'm just in the habit of not giving a fuck about these people.
Right.
Or what they do.
Right.
If it's an important thing that I need to know about, someone who knows me will tell me that I have to go see John Wick 4 next week. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Right? Shit like that. But I would have had no idea. Yeah, my wife told me that today. I was like, really? I didn't think that was out till next year.
You know what's funny? The only social media network that I have stayed with the longest is Facebook. And I'd known about Twitter, tried it, thought, well, this is stupid, left it. Took a look at a few others, not necessarily because I was interested, but because I was about to be starting to teach topics that spoke about social media, and I wanted to, at least have an idea what they were.
Yeah, not call it the Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Know what Pinterest was and what people were using it for, and knowing what Tumblr was and all that kind of stuff, and Snapchat and everything else. And I decided to give Instagram a try. And I am still a casual Instagram visitor, but I'm not using it so much to check out what other people are up to, so much as I'm using it as almost like a photo gallery to the world. Like, hey, check out this artsy picture that I took.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. As opposed to, check out this burger that I ate. No. I'm trying to focus on photos with artistic merit.
Right.
When I got onto Instagram for the first time and actually started going to it on a somewhat regular basis, I noticed you had to seek out what it was you want to go look at. Unless you went to that one tab where it kind of offered stuff to you. And all it fucking offered me was celebrities. And so, you see one and you think, oh, well, if they've got an Instagram page, I wonder if, random thought, this person's got one. And oh, look, they do. Oh, gee, I wonder if that one has one too. Oh, look, they do. And then the next thing I knew, I realized that I was following absolutely zero people that I knew on Instagram, and just Hollywood celebrities. Mm-hmm. And looking at their banal photos of their banal lives, after a while, just going, what the hell am I doing? Why am I wasting even 30 seconds on this nonsense. They're not my friends. They don't give a crap about me. I don't really give a crap about them. I'm curious, but it's curious. Like there's a new neighbor living next door, and they've got an in-ground pool. Gee, I wonder if I get to use it. Well, yeah, except here, no, you're never going to get to use it. So just get over it. And yeah, I finally kind of like just gave my head a shake and thought, all right, well, that's it. That's it. And I was done with Instagram. And what's interesting is that I keep getting emails. Hey, it's Instagram. Hey, like
Where have you been?
so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, your favorite celebrities have been posting all kinds of shit. And you're missing out. And I'm just like going, yep, that's right. Nice try, though.
I was so proud of my wife this week. She recognized, or maybe she's always recognized, but she had enough balls to say it out loud, is that the apps on her phone are consuming too much of her time.
Oh, wow.
Specifically TikTok and Instagram. Through some hair pulling and convincing, I got her to delete them. So
oh, wow.
They were off her phone.
Neat.
Yeah. I'm not convinced she's not lying to me and going anywhere.
Right.
But she did.
But she recognized that they were
a problem.
Yeah.
But is still a junkie, because we had a conversation before I came over here. She's still a junkie and still justifying. It's like, well, like at nighttime it's not a big deal, right? And I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. Let me just heat up your spoon for you. No, like, it's a problem. It's always a problem. It's always a problem.
Well, I told you about Darlene, right? The
I
TikTok
know her.
videos.
What?
The TikTok videos.
Oh, yeah, that they just...
She watches them on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what's interesting is that when she tells me about them, she's not so much telling me... She's telling me what they're about, her favorite ones. But not because that's the part that she's most interested in. It's so that the comments people are making about the video actually make sense.
Right.
Because that's what makes her... That's what releases the dopamine.
Is the comment.
Is the comments. The people losing their minds, good and bad.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Over the content that's being shared. And I don't know what to make of that, but it's like sometimes whatever gives you joy.
I think it's camaraderie. I do the same thing with books,
right,
or movies. Like right when a movie ends, I'll go look to see what reviews are by like normal human beings.
Right on.
Because I want camaraderie. Right. I want to know if
you're the only one that feels the way you do about the experience.
Or yeah.
Like
I want someone else to be sad that this movie's over.
Right.
Or what the fuck did I just watch? Or which is rare.
But what if you come across people that go, "What the fuck was that?"
I think they're an idiot.
Right.
And you enjoy that.
Right.
And there's some joy in that. Yeah.
And do you interact with those people, or do you just like notice it and move on? Or do you feel it necessary to put them in their place?
Oh, you totally do.
Do you act on it?
I have.
Yeah.
I don't always, but I have. I always want to, but usually it's on places that don't allow you to reply to posts for that reason.
Well, let's take this full circle. On CBC News' website, I have a login.
Right, me too.
And that allows me to comment on news stories.
Yeah, but they're moderated now.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if there's a news story that's really interesting to me, I will immediately dive into the comments to see all the flaming and everything else that's going on in the comments. And I will look for trouble.
Oh, of course.
Oh.
That was the great thing about Reddit, is that you would have a news story and you could sort by controversial. So the ones that are downvoted the most are at the top.
Oh.
And you're like, oh yeah, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you're going down.
Woo! And then you just add to their downvotes. You're like, you are a scumbag.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's the unfortunate thing about the CBC comments. They let you upvote a comment, but they don't let you vote
Right.
it
It's
down.
like fucking YouTube bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I like that up and down thing is great. I think it's great. I think it should be used as a currency. Both you require a certain amount of currency to, say, post or something like that, and maybe comments or posts cost a bit of your currency. So you're a little more careful with the bullshit that you're going to say. Because it costs you a couple points that you've earned by fucking other people upvoting your shit.
I don't know. I have got a sadistic streak that makes me suggest if you want to say something negative online, you should have to sit on like an electric pad on your chair, and the more negative you are, the larger of a shock you're going to get as payment for that negativity.
Mm-hmm. Right to your keyboard. Yeah.
Whereas if you're nice online,
Yeah.
you get rewarded accordingly.
It's attached to your business.
Or whatever.
Gives you the buzz there.
Here's some dopamine.
I'm always pissed off, and I understand why they do it because they have to do it. But like posts that have somebody saying something really stupid, like on Facebook or whatever, and like brutal stupid, but they have to block out their name because of doxing.
Right.
I'm like, they posted this on a public tool. Let them, like, don't hide their name. Let them stand behind their bullshit.
Yeah.
The problem is, of course, is that people's lives get destroyed.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Which is so wild.
Yeah.
Which is so wild.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ow. 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 But it is. It's absolutely wild that people's lives get destroyed over comments on Facebook. And it's great. It's great. So just shut the fuck up.
I love social media justice. I love when social media manages to divvy out justice in the most satisfying way possible. Like when the guy's on a WCB claim and can't work, but then posts on Facebook when he's on vacation in Mexico and gets caught.
Right.
Because he's too stupid to realize that just because you're sharing your photos only with your friends
all of your friends like
nothing. Yeah. Once somebody actually starts interacting with those photos.
Right, exactly.
Like, yeah, and then, they get found out, and then the next thing you know, their claim gets denied, and then the next thing you know, they get fired. Just to add insult to injury.
Right, of course.
I love that. I get a lot of satisfaction out of that kind of
I enjoy the ones on
universal justice.
I enjoy the ones on the other side too, where someone is really hurting in a really bad spot,
and they get
and
found
randomly
and
the internet just is
yeah.
oh no, we'll help this person. Oh no, here's $100,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
In 7 minutes.
Right.
Right? It's like, holy
Which
fuck.
is wonderful, but at the same time, you kind of have to ask yourself, how are they going to manage this sudden appearance of $100,000
Right.
in the situation that they're in, right?
Yep.
Will they even know how to handle it?
Yeah, hopefully
But,
it does go to
whatever.
medical bills.
Yeah, at least now you can find a way to maybe get yourself out of that situation. Yeah, what was the latest thing that I saw? I think it was the kid who was like a young, what do you call it when somebody's really skilled at doing something, but they're way too young?
Savant?
Yeah, a savant. He was a savant with the piano, and but he didn't have one. He had to keep going to other places, and you'd catch him, at the mall or whatever, playing on the piano or whatever. And so somebody went and gifted him with a state-of-the-art electric piano, and the kid's just been banging out the tunes and writing stuff and riffing and improvising and all that kind of stuff.
Oh.
So that was pretty neat. I have an idea
Well,
for a game, improv tinged, if you're interested.
sure.
It's called Tell Me Something I Don't Already Know. The only catch, you can't make shit up. It has to be something you know to be true. And we'll take turns. What do you think?
Sure.
All right, do it. You first. Tell me something I don't already know. Oh, and the key is to try to actually pick something I don't actually know. If I do know it, then...
I'll punch you in the rib.
Well, yeah. Something that doesn't matter. Like the points on whose line is it anyway.
Yeah. It's taken so long because I figure you don't know anything. So it's like, what do I pick? There's just so many things
Yeah,
to choose,
right. Well, put your money where your mouth is, asshole.
According to doctors, the amount that your asshole should stretch, but no more, to be safe to prevent or to not incur prolapse or other damage to your colon, is when you point your fingers together like this and you go up until your second knuckle. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
You go much bigger than that and you can incur quite a bit of damage.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That's one for you.
There we go.
Your first name is also my middle name.
I knew that.
You did?
Yeah.
Since when?
We've known each other for fucking how long?
Yeah, but that's not a tidbit I'd normally share with a lot of people.
No, but
I
a guy
did share
whose
it with
fucking
you.
first name is Adam.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yes! 1-0.
Yeah, your turn.
Oh. Wayne's World is 30 years old this year.
I know.
That's so wild.
I know. That is wild.
Oh, did you know Mike Myers has got a show on Netflix? It's got 6 episodes called The Pentaverate.
Yes!
I just started watching it.
Yes. I
This
watched the
afternoon.
first episode,
Yeah.
and I was kind of like, oh,
This is weird.
I don't know.
It's super weird.
Yeah, it is.
I'm excited.
Yeah?
Of course I am.
I couldn't. It didn't hook me. I didn't watch
It's
another
only
episode.
6, dude. It's
Oh,
only
I know,
3
I
hours
know,
of TV.
I know.
He's
All right, maybe I'll give it another shot. How many episodes have you watched?
Not even the whole first one.
Oh, okay.
But, like, just the whole premise is interesting.
Oh, yeah, the premise was super interesting. But by the time I got to the end of the first episode, I was just like, I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
I think that's what's interesting.
I don't know.
Like, this man can do anything he wants. So,
Dark Side of the Moon
uh-huh.
is 50 years old this year.
Yeah.
You knew that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Fuck.
That, well, yeah. That's like music news. You hear
Okay.
that? Okay.
I get a mulligan. I get one more chance.
Okay.
All right, so actual studies
Oh.
have suggested
Okay.
so far maybe masks don't have any effect at preventing what do you call it?
Carl,
Hang on.
you said this exact thing on our last fucking episode.
For fuck's sakes.
Everybody who's listening to this podcast knew that.
Yeah, all right.
You dildo.
It's going to start happening more often, people.
Oh my god. Hey, did you know that my middle name's Adam?
Hey, stop it.
Fuck you.
Hey, when I start saying it in the same day, then we all need to start worrying. But
Holy moly.
if you're expecting me to hold a thought for 2 weeks straight, forget about it. It's not going to happen. But I can tell you what happened 30 years ago. All right, your turn, fuckhead.
Oh my god.
I think he's going to win today's round. But we'll be playing this game more often, I have a feeling, because I'm enjoying this. Is he going to give me one out of pity?
There is no mercy.
Actually, you kind of did, because I already knew about the Wayne's World thing. So, unless that wasn't a thing.
No, that was one.
Okay. Because I did know that one.
Shit. I don't know. It's hard to do off the top of the head. you get fixated on a certain topic. Like, I'm spending a lot of time in the zoo. I don't know why, but I'm like, fucking stupid animal facts?
I'm easily distracted, so I just have to actually start focusing on a topic, and I'll get distracted by a different one.
Right.
It's gotten to the point where if I get an idea in my head of something I need to do, I need to either make a note of it or do it right then and there. Otherwise, something else is going to pop into my head and go, hey, how about this?
This is brighter and shinier.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not nearly as important. Oh, no. My medicine. Carl, I don't know.
Okay. We can call it a game. You won this round.
Well, you got one. Go. You have one loaded.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
Nope.
You're sitting here trying to think of one, too?
Nope. Oh, well, yeah, kind of.
Well, then let's have it.
No, I'm still trying to think of one.
Oh.
Yeah. Still trying to think of one.
All right, well, next week, we'll come loaded with a couple.
Okay. I like that idea.
It's hard. That's a tough improv game.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got to be.
What do I know?
I did spring it on you.
What the fuck do I know?
And you know what the worst part is? I had that Adam one lined up going, oh, here's a good one I can start with. And I was like, motherfucker.
And I couldn't even tell you when you told me that, but when you said it, I was like, I've heard this information before. And it might have been fucking 23 years ago when you told me that.
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe. And damn your good memory for remembering it, too.
Yeah, that one doesn't really count as good, though. Like, because it's not there. There's a taste of it.
Right.
Fucking, there's a little bit of electricity going. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
Right.
It's because it's my name. There's an emotional attachment.
Right.
To that fact.
Right.
Right. Like if you told me that fucking bologna contains plutonium, I might not have fucking remember that 23 years later.
Right.
Well, I might. I like bologna.
But here's an even more important question. Maybe the memory of you knowing it is fake.
Oh yeah, no, that's absolutely possible. That's absolutely possible.
Have you ever experienced deja vu?
Oh yeah, of course.
Isn't it the wildest thing?
Mm-hmm.
It is unbelievably wild when it happens.
That's weird.
When you see something or you hear something being said and you're just like,
I've been here before.
Jesus Christ.
I get it in like with settings, like broad
Yep.
expanse of a setting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll look at a whole street
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be like, I've been here before.
Even when you physically haven't.
Or
Especially when you physically haven't.
Or I don't think I have.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. It happens actually quite frequently to me.
Have you ever had a dream that was seemed so real, your brain was convinced that it actually happened?
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, like I've fallen in love with women for like a day or a couple days because I had a dream about them.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like, in love. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's happened a few, like not a lot, but a few times. Yeah.
The weirdest version of that for me was, and forgive me if I've already told you this story
I'll
once.
fucking tell you, I'll ruin this whole fucking bit.
One time I was having, reminiscing with my family, my immediate family, and telling them...
Oh my God, don't tell me about the fucking stolen thing again.
Oh, so you have heard the story before?
3 times.
3 times now.
Holy Jesus Christ.
But it's that, you see, it's that...
it just made up.
It's that important. It's such a bizarre phenomenon because...
You think, and you still think it's a dream? Like, what else could it be?
I can't explain it any other way.
It must have been a dream.
Because it just... The recollection of it is so vivid. Like, it took me the longest time to go...
Like, you still feel it.
Fuck can you... Yeah.
Yeah.
How the fuck can
There's
you
no way
be
it's
denying
real.
that this ever happened when I can, like, almost create a mental photograph of the...
Yeah, there's no way that's real.
The thing.
There's no way that was real. Like, how do you have that tight of a recollection? Like, something happened. Like, some wild dream just fucking latched onto your brain.
Yeah.
Like I've got that with dreams more than I have anything in waking life.
And maybe the reason it's so vivid is not because I only experienced the dream once, but it became a recurring dream because it was an adventure that I kept going back to.
Yeah.
Because apparently you can program, if you learn how, you can supposedly pre-program your own dreams.
Yeah.
I've never tried it. The few times that I have tried it, I have not been successful that I know of. But apparently, if you really meditate on a particular adventure or circumstance, place, circumstance, and people, you can, tweak your brain into going, oh, alrighty then.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Interesting. I've never heard of doing that. I know that for me, I can fall asleep repeating, I can control my dreams. I can control my dreams. And then I have a dream that I have full control of.
Right. You know it's a dream, you know you're in a dream, and you just go, all right, we're going to do whatever the fuck we want.
I want.
Yes. Knowing that there's going to be no ramifications.
Yeah. It doesn't work every time, but frequently it does.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, my recurring dream took place in the Arctic.
The Arctic.
The Arctic. There was a polar bear and Steven Seagal.
Wow. That's very specific.
It was so specific.
Did he die?
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow.
Nope.
No, eh?
Neither of us died.
Huh.
We were in peril.
Yeah.
And it was like the set of an action, we were in an action movie. Or we were in an action situation, not a movie, but not. And I didn't have it for a long time, but it happened frequently for, I would guess now, a couple months. But it happened so much that I can still hear it, see it, smell it.
I have dreams that annoy the hell out of me when I wake up and realize what the dream was. When they're the dream's recurring theme is you were carrying on with your day in this specific circumstance, and suddenly the thing you were trying to accomplish becomes unattainable because of these obstacles that keep getting thrown in your path. Like trying to get to work on time, but you can't because the car won't start. So you borrow
anxiety dreams.
Yeah. And you're just like, everything you try to get to that end game is interfered with in every which way.
Yeah.
And yet, as you're going through it, your conscious brain is going, isn't this fucking stupid? Oh, watch this.
Where the fuck that dinosaur come from?
I mean, like, seriously. And then after a while, it's almost like your brain goes, okay, this is stupid. I'm super annoyed with this right now. Cut, and you wake up. And because you woke up right at the end of the dream, or your interruption of the dream, you remember it immediately. And I've even, like, when I'm that close to waking at the end of a dream, I can remember it long enough that I can tell Darlene about it. And I'll go, oh, you should see the stupid dream I had this morning when I was waking up. And it's just like, and she'll laugh. And yeah, those are the dreams I can't stand because they just seem to have no point.
It's you just processing anxiety.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They're annoying.
Yeah.
Would you care for my evaluation of hamburgers that I've had over the last little while?
Absolutely, considering how much I love a good burger.
I'm only going to talk about the big fast food places.
Fair enough.
I've eaten at McDonald's, of course.
Of course.
I've had a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And a Big Mac.
Yes. Big Mac was your first.
It was not actually. It was
at
not
the beginning
my
of this
first
journey?
hamburger. No, it was not. It didn't end up being the first hamburger I had.
Okay.
The first hamburger I had was a triple burger from Wendy's. And that was fucking delicious.
I bet. I had a double today.
Hooey.
So double. No cheese.
No cheese.
No cheese, because fuck that. You don't need it.
You don't need it. So out of the McDonald's, the two that I've had, admittedly, the cheeseburger is superior to the Big Mac. Big Mac was good.
Just a regular old cheeseburger.
Oh, yes.
Not even a quarter pounder with cheese.
I haven't done it.
Okay.
I don't. That cheeseburger is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I recommend you try the quarter pounder with cheese.
Like I've had them before.
It's like a cheeseburger on steroids.
It is. It's a fat cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I dig it. Yeah. Okay. I'll give it a go. Then
I'm loving how this sounds.
Then at Wendy's, I've had that triple.
Yep.
And some junior bacon cheeseburgers. And the junior bacon cheeseburger is pretty phenomenal.
Haven't tried it.
$2.19. It's a burger that's got everything on it plus bacon. And you just they're small and they're fucking awesome.
Is it good bacon at least?
No, it's fast food bacon.
Right.
But it's still...
Is it that flat shit that like McDonald's puts on their bacon stuff?
It's better than that.
Okay, good.
It's better than that.
Because theirs is gross.
It's gross. Yeah, it's gross.
It's as bad as Tim Hortons bacon.
It's like Steakums for dogs.
God damn. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Steakums. Oh my God. It amuses me that you know what Steakums are, because that's an American product.
It is.
I don't think Canadians know what Steakums are.
Did you steal that? Is that what you stole?
No. No, the reason I can identify with Steakums so much is because whenever I would go visit my cousins when we were in the States, visiting my mom's family, they fucking always had like at least 2 boxes of Steakums in the freezer. And it's like, oh, Carl's here. Hey, you want some you want some? We'll make some Philly cheesesteaks, hoagies or whatever. And it's like, you mean from Steakums? And it's like, yeah. And I go, you remember the last time you did that? My body had ingested so much grease that it said, nope.
Neither came.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Sorry.
You did not buy that sandwich. You rented it.
That's right. And like the body didn't even say, let me process that for you in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
It said, eject. Send that back in the direction that it came, please.
Oh, well,
Thank you very fucking much.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Barfing's not bad.
Yeah. But it was like, it made me feel, it was
awful.
Ill. Just, oh. So now, like just thinking about Steakums turns my stomach. But, Americans, I think, have probably eaten a metric fucking ton of that shit every year of their lives. It's like us with Timbits or donuts or whatever. But anyway, yeah, Steakums. Any other burger?
There was the double teen burger from A&W.
Oh, I loves me a double teen.
And that was good. And that was really very good.
I don't know what it is about a double teen. It's just got a flavor.
Yeah.
And
A&W.
Dripping juice.
A&W's got a good hamburger. It's different.
It's
definitely different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course the onion rings. Because those
I
are the
love
best
their
rings.
onion rings. Yeah.
And then, not yesterday, on Thursday, my daughter and I were out and about. We needed to stop for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And she's tried all these places with me. So she gets Dad, I want a hamburger. Plain. Bun and only meat.
Alrighty.
Yes, dear.
Yep.
So that's what she gets. And she's tried all of these too, and she has her evaluation as well. But on Thursday, we went to Burger King.
Ooh.
And I got a double Whopper.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Isn't that something?
Was that good?
I know.
It's
uncanny how good it is.
And it's huge.
Yeah, I know.
And it's cheap.
I don't even need fries when I get a double Whopper.
I got onion
rings. It's like, you just don't need anything else.
It was enormous.
Yeah.
And
they are.
Like I said, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Also had a Five Guys burger.
Yep, definitely had those.
Yeah, and I wasn't that impressed. I enjoyed the lettuce burger that I would get when I wasn't eating.
Okay.
Much more, actually. Much more. The bun just wasn't... I don't think it was cakey enough. It's like...
Okay.
Like at McDonald's, you're eating cake. with your hamburger.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man.
The thing I enjoyed the most about a Five Guys burger is that I got to be done with, I got to avoid the toppings I'm not a huge fan of.
Right.
And focus on the ones that I really, really like. That are just hard to get, period. Like, you know, caramelized onions. Like, nobody has that available to put on your burger.
For no
Five
charge.
Guys does.
Yeah.
Five Guys does.
That's-
So I load up on that shit.
When I was eating burgers before I stopped, I was really picky. I wouldn't order it from the restaurant picky. I would just open it up and take the shit I didn't want off it, which was always the tomatoes and the pickles. Always, always. But every time I have a burger now, it's as is, and I'm enjoying them so much with a tomato and a pickle on it and everything else. And it really surprises me.
Burger bots.
I'm going to go get a Whopper now.
Boop.
Poop.
Burger bots. Talking. I think that's an episode.
Bye.
See ya. Thanks for listening.
See, you wouldn't want to be ya.
Watch for maybe our new rotating logo generated by AI.
Hand drawn by me.
Sorry.
Hand drawn by me.
Hand drawn by me over many painstaking days.
Yeah.
So was that the last phenomenal burger so far? Have you had a Rocky's Burger Buster? Oh boy. As it is nicknamed.